What's up, weirdos, and welcome to the Weirdoverse. We are your favorite weirdos, and you are listening to Weird Wide. I am JD Ross. With me is Bethany Geiger.
Hi.
And Ashley Shue. Everybody, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello. How is everybody doing today? How are we feeling?
Tired.
Yeah.
Hanging tough.
Yeah.
After a beautiful 2 days.
It's been a bit of
work.
a week. Yeah, behind the scenes, I don't know. You know what? Like, I know everybody probably noticed that the last we were a little bit radio silent online. Last episode did make it out late, but you know what? That's just how it goes sometimes, man. We're having a bit of a rough week as we record this here. We are heading into 4th of July weekend, and I just... fuck. Holy shit, that's where I'm at.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing. So, but you know what? As Ashley said, we're hanging tough. We're going to get there. It's all good. It's all good. We're still going to have a good time here today. We are talking about a truly fucked up subject today. We are going to be getting into one of, I don't want to call him I don't necessarily want to call him a serial killer, because I don't know if he's confirmed as a serial killer. But today we are talking about definitely a notorious son of a bitch.
He's on serial killer websites.
He is.
So
I feel like it's
a lot of people do.
I think it's a debated topic because I'm not sure if you can fully consider him. But today we are talking about Ed fucking Gein, one of the fucking most notorious names in all of the murderverse or whatever you want to call it. Whatever. There's always a verse. It's always. I
like the murderverse.
The murderverse. I kind of like that too. Can we trademark that?
Gives it a vibe, like the murderverse.
Yeah,
like it's kind of like, you know, the multiverse, but like grosser.
Oh, see,
I feel like we need a Wayne's World.
Would you guys judge me if I admitted to never seeing Wayne's World?
No, never.
I'm gonna judge you. I just recently rewatched it. Like, I've never not seen Wayne's World. Like,
I've seen like clips.
You should see it. You should see it.
What else is new?
I mean, honestly, though, it's one of those things where it's kind of like we are. Like, we're just like doing this little DIY show, and then like Rob Lowe shows up. You know, we haven't gotten to that part yet, but like at some point, you know, like a Rob Lowe is going to show up, and he's going to like try to exploit our show, and we're going to have to fight for it.
What if Ashley is Rob Lowe? Look, she's not even denying it.
Huh.
Really don't have it in me.
Wait, you don't have it in you to deny that you're Rob Lowe?
I could be Rob Lowe-esque.
Are you secretly Rob Lowe?
No.
Let's take off the mask.
I'm not into Adkins.
That's fair. All right. Well, before we get into today's topic, we do have a little bit of weird news. Also, don't forget, if you're feeling tired like we are, obviously we could use some of this. If you're feeling sleepy, get yourself a little bit of Dubby Energy. It's cleaner burning energy drink. It's good stuff. Doesn't have all the nasty artificial bullshit and doesn't have all those extra dyes and shit. And if you use promo code Weirdo1, you're going to get 10% off. So get you some Dubby. And now on to some weird news. Let's get into some weird news. Bethany's got us for that this week.
Yeah. So the first one is an update, and it is a very unfortunate update.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like this, am I?
I don't think so. This is a very sad update. So you remember Stingray Jesus?
I remember Stingray Jesus.
Well,
Ashley, were you on for that one?
I don't think she was on when it started.
I don't think you joined on, but like for that, yeah. So let's get everybody up to speed about Stingray Jesus. Let's give a little mini recap about that.
Back in, I believe it was February, this aquarium in Hendersonville, North Carolina, announced that they have a pregnant stingray, but it was a little bit strange because she didn't have any boy stingrays. So there started being like rumors starting where maybe she's pregnant by a shark, which, you know, is kind of more of a joke than anything. Or I can't think of the name of it right now, but like where the female just like gets herself pregnant.
Yeah. There is a word for it.
There is a word. I think
seahorses do that, don't they?
Oh, I have no idea. I know seahorses.
It's where they can change their gender based upon what they.
No,
Amy.
that's not it.
Yeah, no, that's not it either.
That's not what it starts with a P. I just can't think of the word.
Yeah.
It's a science word.
Science.
Okay?
And we are clearly not scientists.
I think technically, maybe, possibly, if we tried hard enough, we could be scientists.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, they were monitoring her.
Yeah.
They announced that she had at least 4 pups that she was pregnant with. Super cool. Everyone's excited. This is amazing. Well, then people started being like, are we sure? Parthenogenesis. I think that's what it's called. Sorry.
Nice. I love how you were looking that. I love how you just like completely faded out to look up that word.
It came to me. So, but they were like, we're not sure how a pregnancy like this works. So maybe she's just really, really pregnant. And this is going to take a little bit longer because, you know, this is something that's never happened before, never been observed in this kind of stingray. So then sad news came out that she wasn't pregnant, that she had a sort of a disease, I believe, in her reproductive system. So a lot of people were like, oh, they knew this. They were just doing it for publicity. Kind of where I'm saying.
I think you called that.
I feel like, I feel
like you called that on the show.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, if she was pregnant, this is something that a lot of people would be studying. There'd be a lot of tests done. Apparently, the aquarium where this was all going down, they were like saying nah when other people were coming in to help, allegedly. Well, unfortunately, Charlotte the Stingray has passed away.
Oh,
yeah. I think it was due to whatever was going on with her. A lot of people had been going and checking her out because
poking and prodding her.
Yeah, and I'm completely convinced that they were just kind of using this. They were intentionally deceiving the public to get more traffic into that area.
Just for ticket sales.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. I believe that. I could see that. Like that wouldn't even remotely surprise me.
Oh yeah. Especially with like the condition that a lot of people were saying that she was in and stuff.
Yeah.
So sad day for the Stingrays.
Rest in peace, Charlotte.
But
yearly reminder to get your gynecologist.
Yes.
And get examined.
Even if you are a stingray.
Right. Stingray gyno.
Stingray gyno.
That sounds like a really fucked up like superhero or something.
Yeah, it really does.
He chills with Aquaman, but like he's like the creepy uncle.
Aquaman's like not happy about it, but he kind of has to deal with him.
He's like, do I have to bring Stingray Gyno with me?
Stingray Gyno keeps trying to team up with me, and I don't care for it. All right, give us the other news story. What else we got?
Y'all need Jesus. So the other one, I have to check my notes. You need Stingray Jesus. Well, he's dead. He died for your sins.
Wait, he or she?
She. Sorry.
I thought it was
God
is a girl.
What if God was one of us?
That's kind of fucked up. If God's doing us like this and she's one of us.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if God's one of us. I don't know about her.
Maybe she's free bleeding and
she's definitely
Maybe. Well, she needs to tighten it up. I'll say it to her face.
So the second story that I have is from June 28th, which is just a few days before this recording.
Yeah.
Campers in Kisatchie National Forest. I'm not sure if I said that right.
Yeah.
They called the police, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, yeah. So there's this like creature out here, right? And it's fucking growling at us, and it's massive, and it has these glowing eyes, and help. So the authorities came out, and they escorted this group of campers out of the national forest.
Yeah.
They did say that there was no evidence, but spooky.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I wonder if it was like just like an animal, just like a regular, because that would be me.
I mean, yeah, but like, did they describe like how? Okay, so like when they're talking like glowing red eyes, what are we talking here?
I think it just said glowing eyes.
Okay, so it could have been a bear.
It could be anything.
Yeah, it could have been. That's kind of what I was thinking, and like I try to put myself into these situations, and Camping is scary. I love
Yeah.
camping. It is fucking scary at night, especially with how many boogeymans are out there.
Yeah. I have read too many freaky fucking stories to be like cool with just being in the woods at night.
Right. And it's so quiet.
Yeah.
And you could just hear and there's animals because you're
Yeah.
in the woods
Yeah.
and they're all crunching around the leaves.
Yeah, they're all doing shit. They live there.
Right.
That's their
They
house.
literally. And most of them are like nocturnal. So
Yeah.
they're like, it's morning. Like, what
Yeah,
are you talking about?
exactly.
Sleeping human?
They're like, hey, how's it going? You want some fucking coffee, bro? Like,
Right.
yeah.
I love camping, but it's also so terrifying to me.
It always rains when I go camping.
And it gets soggy.
Yeah.
Ooh, I went camping one time in the rain and it was horrible because I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And it was my whole fucking family.
Yeah.
There was a car full of us.
Ugh.
Three teenagers, my dad and my stepmom. And it was atrocious.
And you're just trapped in a fucking tent.
Bitch, I went to the car.
The car has
three
fucking
teenagers.
AC.
Fucking
I think the last time
I
went camping, I went to that stupid creation festival.
What the fuck is
when
a
I was in
creation
high
festival?
That sounds like a cult.
It's like a festival of like Jesus music.
Ew.
Yeah. Somebody wanted me to go along with them. I'm like, okay, I'll take one for the team. It was fucking horrible.
I'd rather get lost in Burkittsville's woods at night.
I mean, like, I was excited because POD was there.
Oh, that's fun.
You know, but they weren't on the main stage because they didn't have a strong enough message.
Oh.
So, that seems like something that'd be fun if you like did some like fun little mushrooms before.
Now, see that. I could have a great time there. I'd be seeing Jesus everywhere.
It was so bad. We weren't allowed to do nothing.
I would definitely get on my knees for Jesus after popping some shrooms. Just saying.
Yeah.
Even if it was Stingray Jesus.
Stingray Jesus especially.
Yeah. She's like my new Lord and Savior.
Yeah, I'd be out there trying to like tell the tale of Stingray Jesus to these people.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. All right, so that has been our weird news, and weird it was. Still not sure how I feel. I feel like that might have been just been a bear or something, but on that one.
It was probably a bear.
Yeah, I'm thinking just a bear.
I'd probably try to snuggle it, be like, "Come here, bear."
See, and look, even with Ed Gein, we managed to get there. Look at us.
Manage a snuggle.
Look at us. Good for us.
Bear.
I love that for us. I love that for us. All right, now everybody, let's get nice and fucking creeped out. We are Ed Gein. Holy shit! What can we say about fucking Ed Gein? Edward Theodore Gein, born August 27th, 1906, in La Crosse, Wisconsin. This is like the quintessential like weird motherfucker. Like this is the dude that you give fucking. This is the dude in the like if he shows up in your office, you be nice to him because you have no idea what this fucking guy is capable of.
Thanks for the candy.
Thanks for the candy. Yeah. I don't know. What would you agree? What Ashley, you and I were the ones that took point in the research on this one. What are your initial thoughts on Mr. Gein here?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like he was a product of his environment.
Definitely.
A lot. Because you always hear like the overbearing, abusive mother, you know, and then they have like this. But I also think that he was born not all there.
I agree with that. I think it was a situation.
So I think that it was a little nature and nurture for him. Yeah. It was just one big fucked up sandwich.
Which just like created this situation of
he had zero chance of
being normal.
Coming out normal.
Yeah, I think like, even if he hadn't had his mother, I think if Augusta hadn't been involved, I still think that he still would have. I don't know if it would have gone nearly.
I don't think he would have gone that far.
Yeah. So let's get into him a little bit. Definitely. So Ed was an American murderer. We said this a little bit up top. He's been talked about as possibly a serial killer. I think, like, for the confirmed kills he's only got 2 confirmed kills, which I think I think you need 3 or more to qualify as a serial killer. But I think, and we'll get to it in the episode, I think he did get there. So I think I'm gonna say at least like I'm gonna say serial killer personally.
Yeah. I
the very
think that
at
he at least has 3 under his belt.
I think so
In
too.
my opinion,
if not
I think he
more.
at least has 3.
Yeah.
at the very minimum, murderer,
Yeah.
psychopath.
Yeah, he did murder people.
Yeah. And you know what? Double murder is still there's something to be said about a double murderer.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's definitely not good.
Another thing is
Especially when he's this cute.
Oh yeah, he's a handsome devil. Actually, that's if you're only watching, if you're only listening, there is a handsome picture of Mr. Gein here. That's actually that's one of the better pictures of him.
This is at his trial.
Yeah, he actually doesn't look terrible there. You can't see the thing. He's got this so like he's
got a crazy eye.
Yeah, he had
like
a crazy eye
look.
His whole life.
This is when they arrested him. And you can see the crazy.
Yeah, again, if you're only listening, you're not seeing it. But there's a picture of him from his when he was arrested with his little deer hunter cap on. And he's got this fucked up little crazy look going on.
Yeah, he's like grinning. He's like happy. Like goddamn right.
You know, it's one of those things too, and I feel like a lot of people that do end up being murderers get to this point where they kind of want to be caught.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he was because. And we'll get to it a little bit. Like he was kind of dropping hints here and there to like lead people to him.
When he was by himself, he
yeah.
The fuck's he got to lose?
Yeah,
you know.
I think too. I think part of it just in general with these types of people is like it's like an ego boost when you're dropping hints and they're not catching you.
Yeah.
Like it's just that good.
It's almost like it's almost like it's like this joke with yourself. Like
or like a game. Like
you know, well, you know what? I can almost identify with this to a certain degree.
That's comforting.
No, don't worry. It's a lot more friendly. It's a lot less murdery. I can say this now because we're out. We are out about this. But I'm polyamorous, and so like there have been moments where nobody I'm around knows that I'm poly, and I'll say something a little off the cuff, and it'll just be like, they don't know. They know I'm weird, but they don't know. And so like. I feel like my way is better, you know, instead of like, I might have murdered a woman who looks like my mother, but
instead it's, I'm Frankie Mermaid because I'm swimming in bitches.
Swimming in bitches.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. This feels nice. This is the first time I've been able to say this. Like,
that's actually awesome. I'm so happy for you too.
Everyone,
yay.
Yay me. So let's get into the parents here a little bit. So Ed was born to Augusta Wilhelmine Gein and George Philip Gein. He had an older brother named Henry, and Henry I feel like had a bit of a chance because Henry's a bit normal. But we'll get into Henry's a fateful character. Henry is I feel sorry for Henry, and I actually feel like if events hadn't gone the way they would have, I actually think this may have gone completely differently, but fate had other things in store. Now let's talk about the parents here. Augusta was what you call a real piece of work. She was so they were basically, they started off in like La Crosse, Wisconsin, which I don't really think is like a bastion of society as far as like city life and all that goes. It still feels like that's going to be a pretty rural area to me, but apparently it was like the big city for her, and Augusta was like the most religious you could possibly get, and like in the worst way. She was like that old school, I believe they were Lutheran, and
like Bobby Boucher's mom.
Exactly. Think Bobby Boucher's mom.
Oh, okay. That's I actually watched that over the weekend, or over the weekend.
Nice. Water sucks. Gatorade is better. But like, imagine if Bobby Boucher grew up to like turn people into lampshades.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So she was like, everything was the devil. Every woman was a whore. Like basically all the makeup trends were like anytime she saw, like there was a time I remember. So like I read the book Deviant. I read most of the book Deviant. I didn't get through all of it, but which is by Harold Schechter. Which, by the way, great account of the whole thing. It goes into a lot of the like littler details of the whole account. But like there was a part where Augusta like. There was a neighbor, and she rarely even associated with the neighbors. Like she didn't even like her fucking neighbors. She didn't like anybody. But she saw like her neighbor like kicking the shit out of a puppy. This is gonna get sad. Everybody get ready to get sad here. Trigger warning. Puppy puppy side. This dude is just kicking the shit out of a puppy, and like he's got his girlfriend, not married, who's like yelling at him like to stop, and she's like, you know, like calling him all kinds of names and shit. Augusta was not even concerned about the puppy. She was furious that this guy had a harlot living with him. Yeah, that's the kind of bullshit we're dealing with here with Augusta.
Yeah. And mothers like that, and it's something that like it's weird to see. A lot of it seems almost like a helicopter mom.
Yeah.
But then when you really take a deeper look, it is almost like borderline like romantic relationships with their 100%. Children.
Definitely.
And that's the vibe you get from this.
100%.
Like he never dated, never had a girlfriend, never got married.
Neither of them did. Like the other one, the brother tried to date, but like apparently Augusta like quashed that shit. She was like, nah, son, you ain't fucking, like, I am the only woman you fucking need.
What's real scary though is that like this is a like almost a trend nowadays for like the boy moms. And I'm not coming at any boy moms, but it's a very specific type of boy mom where they're like way too protective. They're way too into their relationships. They're the types that like almost see a girlfriend as a competition.
Yes.
And it's if you are like online, you see it everywhere.
Yeah. I know at least one person who's kind of like that.
Yeah. And it's scary. And like it really makes me like, am I like, because I have a son, I'm like, I'm not like that, am I? And like I'm pretty sure I'm not, but like
I don't think I've seen you like that.
Yeah.
I have boys too, and no.
You're definitely not.
Such a weird like relationship.
Yeah.
And it really is like borderline like romantic, and it's creepy.
Yeah, and then you add this like fire and brimstone religious element to it, and it just makes it so much worse, because it was one of those things where like entertainment initially was not at all like allowed. It was like their entertainment was like listening to the Bible, like her recite like shit from the Bible. Like they were made to sit like on the floor in front of her, and she just reads shit from the Bible.
Now I can understand, like, because Bible stories, like, they're pretty actually kind of cool. Like they're
I saw the show. There was like a show where they made the Bible like a thing, and I was like, you know, I watched the first season, and it was kind of funny because it was like, he's coming in the second season. It's like, I bet you it's gonna be Jesus. It's gonna be Jesus.
It's Jesus.
Jesus.
Was it Jesus?
But like,
spoiler alert.
Spoilers. It looks like 2,000 years old. So like, if you didn't know, you should have known.
Yeah, like
but yeah, like it's some of them are interesting, but I think it was more like the creepier shit.
Yeah.
Now, by contrast, George Phillip, this guy was like, okay, so like I kind of feel bad for this guy. Like this guy was apparently massive drunk, like, but like even the book kind of went out of its way to rip on him, like deviant.
Really?
Oh my God! It was like talking about how he was like there never lived a more miserable soul than Philip.
Can you blame
him?
Dude, he made the choice to get with Augusta, bro.
That's true.
You make like,
what if they had the premarital sex and she got pregnant, and then he was like roped in, like he because back then, you didn't have a choice. You had to like make an honest woman out of her.
That's true, because we're talking about like those two like would have met like somewhere in the late 1900s. Is it, what was it, like 18? You know what I mean?
In probably the late 19th century is what I think you're thinking.
Yeah, because Ed was born in 1906. So so that makes so it would have been like, so that like shit was like real intense back then. And like you're talking about Midwesterners, you're talking about Wisconsin. There's certain rules back then. I bet you.
And I mean, I would have been a miserable son of a bitch too.
I want to know.
I just wanted to get my Peter wet. And look at me now.
And that's the thing though, but like she was super, like she was not one to fuck. She was literally the type to only have sex for procreation.
Oh,
maybe she tried to rope him in because she knew she couldn't get anything in any other way.
I'm wondering, or maybe I think part of it too is like a little bit predatory, because I feel like there was a predatory nature to their relationship, because he was so meek and just like he
Yeah.
didn't stand up for himself and was just like a miserable dude, like just like lazy, like couldn't hold down a job. At one point they owned a general store that like Augusta made them buy. She was like, I'll fight, we'll do this, because he couldn't hold a job, so she was like, well then we'll fucking make our own. And then he wasn't doing it. He would just like mill about the fucking, he would just be like, oh, just like pretend to sweep the same spot for an hour. And she's over here just like penny pinching, ball busting. Like this is a time where like women didn't own shit, but her name was on like the fucking like business
Oh,
license for
damn.
this shit. She was
Oh,
okay,
damn.
like for all her flaws, she was a ball buster when it came to that shit. So good for her, I'll say.
Yeah, girl power and everything, but like,
Girl power, but also tone it down.
yeah, let's calm
Do it
down
for
a
the
little bit.
Lord. We're
That's
doing
right.
it for the
Jesus.
Lord.
She was doing it for the Lord.
You're
But she,
doing something for the Lord.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so like he was a drunk, like they just like, I mean, they went out of their way to just like rip on this guy. Like I
That's
feel
kinda
so
sad.
and then she would just constantly like openly like I fucking hate you. I can't fucking stand you. You're a piece of shit.
Jesus.
Like I'm pretty sure.
Well, no wonder why he was so
That's what
miserable.
I'm
Well, yeah.
saying. Like he
Plus,
like,
he had a weirdo kid.
yeah, yeah. The other one was like a little better, but we'll get to that. So at one point they found Augusta found that Lacrosse, like we said, was just a little bit too hoary for all them, a little bit too modern, a little bit too Sodom and Gomorrah. So they moved to Plainfield, where Plainfield would become ultimately where they would
Shit goes down.
Shit goes down. This is where they would put their roots in. And shit kind of went down quick. Yeah, it was kind of in quick succession when they did there. They bought a farm. Now they also Augusta was like really big on keeping the farm immaculate. Apparently the house was gorgeous while she was alive. It like she kept that shit like it was just like, but she had the boys out there working because like, but she would also like do like her husband's work. He wouldn't do it, but she'd be out there doing like double duty shit, just rocking and keep that house like immaculate. But it was like as far away as like comfortably that they could, like from civilization. Plainfield wasn't a big town, and that's how she liked it. She didn't really go into town a lot. And then finally on April 1st, actually I find this to be funny. He died on April Fool's Day, but April 1st, 1940. Gein's dad died of heart failure at age 66. And they kind of took it as like a good thing. They took it as like, because like at this, like he was like the last couple years, he got like even more into drinking. He was apparently abusing everybody in the house, beating the shit out of everybody. Because I mean, honestly, you spend years with a ball busting wife, you know, and you keep drinking, you're not gonna do well as far as like domestic.
Yeah.
This whole fucking family was doomed from the start.
Oh yeah.
That's so sad
100%.
too, because like to come into the world just not even having fucking any hope.
Yeah.
You don't have a chance.
Literally.
Sorry, kid.
Yeah. Like it's just the way it be. So they were happy because they didn't have to fucking take care of him anymore. That was like one less mouth to feed. They were like literally had no more like wiping his ass every day, no more just, you know, all that shit. So this was a good thing. So he died. And honestly, I feel like even for him, it's like, bro, like, miserable fucking life.
Yeah.
And then 4 years after that, they were burning away marsh vegetation on the property. And this is where me and Ashley, and I think a lot of other people think that the third victim, or the first victim really, of Ed Gein, comes into play. Because so basically his brother was kind of getting to a point where he was like, hey man, like, don't you think it's a little weird, the mom, like the hold mom has on you and things like that? And his brother was like Ed was just like, what? Like mom is like the best person in the world. Like he was like not,
he idolized her. Yeah.
Idolized her.
Yeah.
Said
but Henry was kind of like, I think I want to get the fuck out of here.
Literally. He was like, this is fucking like insane. He knew something was off, even though he was still pretty, well,
brainwashed in it.
Yeah, he was still in it, but he was definitely noticing that there was a problem.
Yeah.
He was definitely noticing something was off, and he was trying to convince Ed. And it wasn't long after that this happened. So that's why I think there was some foul play here. I
They
can't.
found his
the
body
timing.
burned, and there
'Cause
was an accident.
Yeah, because the
The
fire
took over.
well, the fire got out of control, and
Yeah.
basically at one point Ed like comes back and he's like, where's Henry? Like, have you seen Henry? And they're like, well, I haven't seen him. And then Ed leads them right to Henry.
Yeah, that's the timing, and then
It's too perfect. It was too perfect.
I understand. I definitely understand why there is skepticism.
Yeah.
But his body was covered in bruises.
Yeah. Especially
Henry's body was covered in
head.
bruises.
Especially his head.
And his head. Yep.
Yeah.
But it was still ruled an accident.
Yeah, they said that like he could have fallen and hit a rock or something like that. So. This is why I don't trust small town cops.
Oh yeah. I agree with that 100%. Because if they feel like somebody needs to be protected, they are going to protect them.
Yeah, and literally they just look at Ed, who's just this like kind of little simpleton. They're like, this fucking guy he wouldn't hurt his no.
These pieces of shit
Never mind that he's been fed like religious bullshit his entire life, including the story of Cain and Abel. Let's be real.
Oh.
Let's be real.
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry. I think there's just too much. And the cops were just like, well, this looks like it was just such lazy work on the cops.
It really was. It really was.
Yeah, I think if they'd have looked a little bit further into it, they could have, and honestly, that would have saved multiple people down the road.
And that's so sad too, because like just them not doing their jobs has cost more tragedy than it needed to be happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
let's support the blue.
Fuck the blue. Fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway, so at this point, he had Augusta all to himself, and he could not have been happier. Like,
and she couldn't have been happier either, because then she could laser
so weird.
focus.
So weird.
Because at one point, she had decided, like, he's going to be different. He is going to be the good one. He's not going to be like one of these disgusting men out here drinking and gambling and whoring. He's going to be a good boy.
Whoops.
So, yeah.
And in steps Norman.
Yep, exactly.
Norman Bates.
Exactly.
This is where the parallels start to like draw.
Yep, you start to really, and then it'll get to some of the other fucked up movie references that he had inspired later, including Buffalo Bill. I'm gonna have to totally rewatch Silence of the Lambs soon because of this.
I know, I haven't seen it in so long.
I'd fuck me so hard. It puts lotion on the skin. Literally. I
felt so bad for the dog in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you and the dog.
Well, you know what? I do feel bad, but Princess can fuck herself. I'm getting out of this hole. No, was it Princess or Duchess? What was the name?
I think it was Princess.
I think it was Princess. Princess, don't hurt my fucking dog.
Like,
fucking rip your goddamn dog apart, bro.
Don't hurt the dog. The dog didn't do anything. The poor thing can't help it that it has a crazy psychopath serial killer as an owner.
You know what's nice though?
dogging.
You know what's nice though? If you notice, like after she gets saved and she's in the ambulance, she's petting Princess. So
I did notice that actually.
I think she trauma bonded with Princess. Like, cause you can't blame Princess for this bullshit.
She's just this cute little fluffy Pomeranian.
Yeah. Jesus. So it wasn't long that they had their time together. They only had a short time. It was less than a year. Augusta actually died of a stroke in December of 1945. So they had less than a year together of this whole thing. And that's really when Ed started to go off the hinges. He started to like, so like he was like that guy that like, would kind of like, he would get on like little work crews, pick up odd jobs. Cause I mean, he was good at labor. That was another thing is he was okay. He was like one of the guys around town for labor. Cause again, even a small town, if you're one of the locals, like, you're in, even if you're a fucking weirdo. Yeah. There's a lot of weird fucking people around here, and they're doing just fine. But like there was one story I read where like they had done a bunch of work, and then he's kind of sitting there at the table, and he's got his fucked up left eye going on, but he's just sitting there staring at the teenager, making weird fucking comments and shit, just fucking staring at her, just like, yeah, he was that guy. And he always had like this kind of like idiot like grin, like this like
Yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to reintroduce the grin?
Go ahead and show the grin again. Show the
let's
grin.
see the grin.
Again, if
Let's
you're not
see
watching
it.
on YouTube, you're
Oh.
missing the grin. But that grin, oh, that grin, look at that. Always had that going on. It was like his like, you know, when people have got like that nervous laughter, like it was like
it's almost
You
like
can almost hear it.
you can, yeah.
like a psychopath type thing. I don't know if the psychopath is the correct term, but like where you try to like mirror the people around you.
I think
That's
try
a
to, like-
sociopath. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sociopath. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you try to like pick up the human,
Yeah.
like the human stuff, so
Yeah.
you appear to be more human.
Yeah.
So weird.
Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure. And obviously we're not, I don't know if psychopath even, that might not even be a thing as much anymore.
It's not called psychopath.
There
but
is sociopath.
there's sociopath.
Sociopath.
I want to say that there is a terminology for psychopath that I can't think of.
Maybe is it antisocial behavior?
Dissociative.
Personality?
That
We
might
don't
be what it
fucking
is.
know. We don't know. He was a fucked up dude.
Dude, yeah.
And it's really sad too. That's another thing. Like, that's why I mental health awareness,
Yes.
all that stuff. Because if this could have been like noticed younger in life, they could have started treating it. And like,
Yeah.
because this is something that people live with every day, and they
Mhm.
live pretty normal lives. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
they have whatever, you know.
Not only that, but CPS.
Yeah.
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 Not that they're worth a shit now.
I mean,
but
they're not, but I mean, like, and back then, not, especially not. I mean, that was back when, like, you know, if you didn't hit your kids, like, they're gonna get taken away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, again, this is like the nature versus nurture aspect of it, of like, you know, he was born a little fucked up anyway, and then he was molded to be even more fucked up by a fucked
Yeah.
up person. Yeah. That's just how it is. So he started to like let the house like just go into complete disarray, except for Augusta's room.
That's
He kept Augusta's room like kind of perfect, like, you know, wonderfully dusted, but like everywhere else it was like broken dishes all over the place. Yeah. Oh shit. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, Ashley's got
I love the photo references.
yeah. Also,
I
like
thought
how-
these were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if you're only listening, you're not getting the full experience. But I'll have her send these and we'll put them on the Facebook
This
page and
is the kitchen.
That's
yeah.
to see that, and do you have pictures of Augusta's room though?
No. This is Ed's bedroom.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like some real, because yeah, I mean, yeah, once she died, I'm
And
sure he went
this-
into a deep depression.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
This
Like,
is
deep.
the living room.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like there's the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed lost complete control of reality at this point. He was, and it wasn't an immediate snap, but it was definitely a very quick downward decline
Yeah.
of
This
reality.
is the home from the outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
it's
was
a pretty
it was
little
a
house.
beautiful house at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn.
But like, so he started to kind of like, you know, like as a lot of people do that have like the mommy issue serial killers, because there's a couple of those.
It's a theme. That's
thing.
a whole
Yeah.
fucking theme.
It's a big thing. He started to kind of explore, you know, like his new reality a little bit. He started to get really into he got really into like true crime books. He was especially interested in stories about murder, which, you know, a lot of these. Okay. And we're all consumers of this stuff anyway. So, you know, as well, we're not weirdo. Well, we're not normal, but we're not.
We're
fucking-
literally, our job title is
literally.
we are weirdos.
That's true. That's true. You're right. You're not wrong there. But we're not murderers. We're not murderers.
We're not murder. Not that I know of. I'm starting to wonder about you a little bit.
Don't worry about it, man.
I'm starting to wonder.
Don't worry about it, man.
How's your relationship
It'll
with
be
your
fine.
mom?
It's actually wonderful.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
It's wonderful. I love my mama. Oh shit! But that's what Ed did. Ed loved his mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
shit. Now,
Great.
damn. I'm
So
going
you're
out.
Somebody
real
check
dark
his,
path.
like- Somebody check his crawl space.
I thought
Literally.
it smelled funny the last time I was over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. So again, a lot of this is like circumstantial shit, but considering what he did, I do find it interesting. So he got into the true crime stuff, was really interested in like, and we're gonna get here again, and shout out to Valerie because we got here on this. A lot of cannibalism talk.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, he was really
And
interested
anatomy.
Cannibalism.
He liked
and
anatomy.
loved anatomy. And something else I found interesting considering what he did was he was very interested in a very specific Nazi figure, the Bitch of Buchenwald. Do you guys know about the Bitch of Buchenwald?
No.
This bitch, okay, so like there was like as far as like notoriety goes, there's like Joseph Mengele, the angel of death, and then there's this chick who
Yeah.
was like this fucking she-Nazi who was like part of the selection process and was a collector, just like Ed ended up being. She literally, one of the things that he did that she also did was made lampshades out of human skin and collected skulls that she used as bowls.
Ooh.
So I feel like there was definitely like it was this moment in time where he was like something, the wires had crossed, and this weird new freedom and exploring the like these like stories in this historical context and like all
And
this
impulses.
and all that, and it just like
Mhm.
culminated with these like neuron centers in his brain that just like led to where it went. I found
That
that to be
actually-
very interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What you said, the freedom, because
Yeah.
he's already fucked up.
Mhm.
He's super codependent.
Yeah.
Like, and now all of a
Mhm.
sudden he doesn't have somebody taking care of him.
Exactly.
So
Even
now,
as fucked up as it was, but he still idolized her. So
yeah.
yeah.
And she had the whole like, Jesus, let's
Yeah.
follow the Bible. And I mean, at least maybe that's what reined him in. Maybe that's what kept him reined in until she died, because then there goes that piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that happened with Armin
He had to
Muse.
fill the void.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Same thing that happened with Armin Muse. As soon as his mom died, he started to really go for it. Like mom's got a
that's-
hold on you, man.
That's an interesting theme too. I can't think of the name. There's another one.
Mhm.
I think he murdered his mom though. Yeah, he murdered his mom,
Kemper?
and then I think her head in the garden or some
That's
shit.
the one. Yep. That's Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
Yep, Ed Kemper's up.
And then he went
sick fuck.
He went fucking Looney Tune after that.
Yeah. Crazy motherfucker. So yeah, very similar thing.
I think there's always writing on the wall. It's just people
yeah.
choose
So
to ignore the writing.
I think so too. I feel like it's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like it's very rare that like somebody like this like is a surprise.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
a
and they
full
always
surprise.
say, my mama,
Yeah.
she always says that hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, and really think about it.
It's really difficult too, because you can't just like start assuming that people are gonna be serial killers. And there's not a whole lot you can do, because you can't necessarily like outcast people from society for having mental illness.
Right.
All you can do is,
yeah.
you can
Mhm.
try to support them and try to get them to seek help in some sort of a way.
Yeah.
But there's still a stigma on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, see, considering this, see, now I'm thinking of that cop like that did that one press conference. Like wants to just chill out, have some 7-Up, quit murdering people. That'd be me
Quit
like trying to
murdering
support like
people.
that's me trying to
Yeah.
support my murdery friend.
let's just chill out a little bit and
Just
do
chill
some
out.
mushrooms.
Have a moon pie.
Have a moon pie.
He literally said that. He's like, have a moon pie. Drink
Oh
some
my
7-Up,
God.
quit murdering people. And I'm over here like, this guy is on to something.
Yeah.
Like, this guy gets
This is
it.
it.
He's out here saving the world from serial killers with moon pies.
There's got to be
Drink
somebody that was just
7-Up
like,
anymore.
oh, dude, I love 7-Up. There's got to be
Do ya?
somebody that was listening to that was like, you know what? I'm going to have a moon
Bet.
pie and some 7-Up, and I'm going to quit murdering people.
Yeah. Aw. Saving lives.
Saving lives. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with 7-Up. What's wrong with 7-Up?
I'm just asking. I haven't heard anybody talk about 7-Up in a long time.
Remember when I thought that like Mellow Yellow was like a choice that I made? I was like, I went off the grid. and,
I
like-
know. I thought you were so good.
I was like, I went off the grid this weekend. Like I got fucking Mellow Yellow. I said, fuck your Cola Wars. And she's like, that's owned by Coca-Cola, bro. Like you just drank Coke's version of Mountain Dew. Like
Whoops.
I didn't choose shit.
Yeah, he thought he did so good, and I was like,
Aw.
nah,
I'm over
you
here
done fucked
still
up.
just participating in the
try.
Matrix.
Yeah.
You got to go down to Point Pleasant, West Virginia. They have Mothman root beer.
Ooh, we should make a trip out there at some point.
We should
Mothman root
totally
beer. I'd
do
that.
fuck with some Mothman root
It's
beer.
they have it. I have a couple bottles, but I don't know how long it stays good. It's been up on my cabinet for a little bit, but it was really good.
Well, we'll
Me-
have to get fresh stuff then, because I feel
Yeah.
like that's one of those things where like you keep the bottle as a keepsake, like because
I
that's
feel
just
like
fun.
I
that's
have-
something that
I have
my
one-
entire family would be on to see the Mothman ship.
It's
Yeah.
so it's really cool. The Mothman museum is awesome. The whole downtown area, which is literally a road.
Yeah.
Really cool. Lots of shops that cater to like the cryptozoology and all
Is
that.
that the place that has the Mothman statue where people
Yes.
put stuff in his butt?
Yes, because he is
Yes.
dummy thick.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has I definitely have pictures of a Mothman booty on my phone. I have multiple. I also have pictures of Bigfoot booty on my phone.
See, I feel like you definitely are attracted to big booty cryptids.
Oh, what can I say? I'm an ass man.
I get it. I am too. I'm with you.
I want to know why they keep giving cryptids dumpies.
Because it's nerds putting it together. They're like,
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm surprised
it's
that they don't
40
have
nerds like
massive
us. Like,
boobs
40 nerds
and
sitting around and like, I bet you let's give him a donk.
you know what?
Yeah.
He's definitely
thick
packing.
boy.
He's a thicky boy. We
He's
gotta-
gonna be
Yeah.
dragging a wagon.
We gotta put a bright future behind him.
Let me tell you what though. Mothman's booty, it's okay. It's all
Yeah.
right. Bigfoot's booty.
Yeah.
Mm,
All right.
okay.
All right.
Sup, Bigfoot? I would like to see him some Daisy Dukes, actually.
All right. All right.
All right. Yeah.
Shake that ass for me.
There's a shop in Friendsville, Maryland that has it's a gas station.
Yeah.
Has a great big Bigfoot statue next to a toilet outside. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but
Off-putting, but yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely it's an interesting place.
Yeah.
But it's my favorite little Bigfoot statue.
We gotta make a trip out there at some point.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start getting into the first victim. Because like
Bernice
no, Bernice was the second victim.
was. Oh, okay.
Mary Hogan.
Mary
We're
Hogan.
gonna touch on Mary a little bit, and then we're gonna get into Bernice, and then I'll let you take it full like from there about the shit he got up to. So Mary Hogan, he started frequenting a local bar. I can't remember the name of the bar, but it was like one of the bars in town. Do you know the name of the bar?
Pine Grove Tavern.
The Pine Grove Tavern. That's right. Yeah. So Mary Hogan. Now this is another interesting situation. Is like both of his victims were like resembled Augusta, like very
Yeah.
closely.
That's a theme for this
Mhm.
type of murderer
Mhm.
is the same thing with I already forgot the guy's name.
Kemper,
Yes.
Ed Kemper, both Eds too. That's interesting. Don't name your son Ed. So Mary Hogan was a tough bitch. Like Mary Hogan, one of the things like about her, she had like a German accent. She was like heavy set,
yeah.
looked a lot like Augusta, and she was a bar type. Like she was like a bartender. She like I think she owned the bar, or she was at least is the proprietor? Is that an owner, or is that just somebody that like
owner.
runs it? Okay,
No.
not an owner, or
I think
is
it
it
is an owner.
Okay. Well,
It
she was
is
at
an
least
owner,
heavily
I think.
involved with it. So she was like, like back then, if you're a bartender, you got to be able to be one of the boys. And she
Oh,
was
yeah.
able to be one of the boys. And one of the theories about her is that Ed kind of saw her as an antithesis of Augusta. It was like Augusta is the good version, and then there's this complete mirror image of Augusta that's the evil version. And they think that's one of the things that like led him to like target her first. We'll get into what happened to her in a little bit. I want to get into the other victim a little bit first, because it's kind of interesting, because that's like how he got caught. But like there were situations when Mary Hogan went missing, and this is what we were talking about like up top about like leaving little bits and like little crumbs, and like the little personal joke is they would start talking like Mary Hogan's been missing, like it was like he had about a 3-year cool off period before he murdered again. I think it was 3 or 4
That's
years.
a long cool off.
It was. He had a long cool off period for sure. But like they would talk about it, and like they'd be like, "Ed, where do you think? What do you think happened?" And he would say shit like, "Oh, she's down at the farm. She's down at the farm right now. He would just say out of and then he would just like, and because he was such a weird fucking guy, they would just be like, "That's Ed." Silly guy.
Ed.
Yeah. Which I find to be interesting because again, I feel like it was one of those things where it's like he knew that he needed help.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of like knowing he needed to get help and wanting to get caught, but also like wanting to be the superior guy because he's never the superior guy. He's always the weird fuck. He was always the sensitive guy that always cried too much. Like, you know, he couldn't take a joke. Like someone would joke about him and he would just start fucking bawling. You know, so I think part of it is wanting to feel superior. Part of it is knowing he's like in a fucked up headspace for sure.
Yeah.
So the other victim was Bernice Warden. Again, that was like 3 or 4 years later, and basically he got caught pretty quickly. I think she was the manager. She was the manager of a
hardware store.
Hardware store, yeah. And there was like
he was the owner.
So he was targeting like powerful
women.
Yeah, like for the time, powerful women, like local powerful women, like what he considered. Like it was all because like he held Augusta to this standard of like physical and moral and everything like perfection. So like it makes sense that he would go after like owners of businesses and stuff that reminded him of her. But her son, like she had told him that he'd been kind of like hanging out and like kind of haunting the place a little bit, and said that he came in and was like asking for. This is how the guy knew, the son knew that like Ed was involved. Frank, that Frank knew that Ed was involved because she said that he had been in there the day before asking about the price of antifreeze, and they found a receipt. Like the last receipt of the night was for a thing of antifreeze. He was like Ed Gein. So Ashley, I'm gonna let you take over from here about where it went from here, and then what they discovered and what he was up to throughout his. Because we say cool off period, but I don't really know if he had a full cool off period.
No, I don't think so. I think his cool off period was mainly he spent grave robbing.
Yeah. He satiated with grave robbing.
Cooling off.
Yeah, because he was definitely a product killer, not a process killer.
Yeah, because that's where he got most of his stuff from. He would wait, he would linger at the local cemetery, follow the obituaries, and find the new fresh body, like soil, dig it up, and then take what he wanted.
Yep.
And cover it back up.
Yep.
And
it was still like loose,
and
so like no one would notice that.
Nobody knew. So that's how he went undiscovered for so long.
Yeah.
But they went right after Warden went missing. Because her son, I think that he didn't expect someone to miss her. Yeah. And I think that's why he got away with the first one for so long, because nobody.
Right. She was from Chicago. Mary was from Chicago. She had connections to the mob. People like she didn't have like a lot of family. So like, but Bernice was different.
Bernice was different because she had children. She had family, and they didn't know where she went.
It was a family business too.
Yeah. So they were like, wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, they found blood in the back that same night.
That let out. So he calls the cops. The cops go to Ed's arena, and she's hanging from the ceiling. Yeah,
they found her hanging in the shed.
Decapitated
and gutted like a deer.
Yep.
Jesus.
Hanging. Yeah. So
that's when they started. Obviously, at that point, they know that they're dealing with some sick shit.
Yeah.
And actually, trigger warning on this one. Like, there's some, like, you're about to get into, we're getting into fucked up shit territory here.
Yeah.
So after they took him into custody, they couldn't actually arrest him. They didn't actually arrest him.
Right.
Because he didn't admit to anything.
Right.
So they were just looking.
Yeah.
So I think he pretty much went, come on in,
Yep, because he was a simpleton.
He just didn't.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. They found several chairs upholstered with human skin, a trash can made out of human skin. He had a belt and a corset covered in severed nipples.
Yep.
He had multiple human skulls made into bones. He kept other victims' organs in jars. He created lampshades and masks.
Just like the bitch of Buchenwald. He had like remember the fucking Hannibal Lecter face mask shit? He made those. Yep.
He would cut off breasts and use like them for, his
shenanigans.
He had multiple breasts.
He had a pair of lips that were on the window drawstring.
That was on the window drawstring.
Now that's got to be fun. That's got to be a little bit fun. Because like you got this like set of lips just hanging out here. Like I bet you he talked to it.
So pretty much in his original questioning, he just admitted everything.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even have to try to break him. He was just like, yeah, I killed Warden, and by the way, I killed Mary Hogan 3 years ago.
Yeah, and I mentioned about how he's a product killer versus a process killer because like it was just like Buffalo Bill. Like the whole MO was like shoots him really quick. It's not about the suffering. It's about what he gets out of it. Whereas like some are more about like they want the victim to suffer for a while, or it's like a ritual they have to do. This is all about like he if it weren't for the kill, he'd be fine without the killing. It's just getting.
So what really got investigators was the full skin suit that he used to quasi resurrect his dead mother.
Yeah.
He would wear.
Yeah, he wanted to live in her
pretend
skin.
that he was her.
Yeah. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
He had a human leg skin that he made leggings out of that he would wear. He had a corset made out of a female torso. And the window shade drawstring with that was made out of a pair of lips.
Bowls that were made out of human skulls.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Imagine eating cereal out of that.
I mean, I'd do it.
What kind of cereal would you pick to put in a skull bowl?
Waffle Crisp.
Waffle Crisp. Dude, that's the second person in like 2 days that's talked about Waffle Crisp. Why don't you get me some of that?
Really?
I'm gonna put it in a skull bowl.
I got some at Martin's the other day.
Nice. Good to know. Also found 9 vulvas, like 9 different
that he would use to fornicate with.
Yeah, because that's another thing is I don't think he was a cannibal, but I do think he was definitely a necrophiliac.
Yeah.
He admitted to necrophilia, grave robbing, and the 2 murders.
Yeah. Now he did.
And I feel like
no problem.
I feel like if he was a cannibal, he probably would just admit to that too.
Yeah. At that point, what's the point of like? Is that like is it like where's too far for you? Like
is there a line?
Oh, I fucked that disembodied vagina, but I definitely did not eat human body. I'm not sick, sir. Like.
I'm not a monster.
Not a monster, no.
So his lawyer, William Belter, entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity, and it found unfit to stand trial, and he was committed to the Central State Hospital. But 10 years after he was originally busted, he was then found fit to stand trial.
Yeah.
Oh.
And since they hadn't tried him at that point, it wasn't double jeopardy. Yeah, so they were able to.
Okay.
They only charged him with the murder of Bernice Warden.
Now that surprises me.
They didn't even try to do the other one. They were just we'll just do this one.
Surprising because he was hey.
He literally admitted to it.
Yeah. So they found him guilty, but they also still deemed him insane.
Yeah.
So they again committed him to the Central State Hospital.
Yeah.
Good.
Where he
honestly.
remained. Yeah. In 1974, he submitted his first attempt to get released, which, of course, they said, nah.
Could you imagine if they were like, this guy, he's ready to be back out?
Listen, that is some white male audacity.
Literally.
If I have ever seen it.
Literally.
Yeah. So he was actually known to be a very good prisoner. He stayed and kept a low profile and stayed to himself, didn't cause a ruckus unless he went into his manic murder. He would go into like these manic,
episodes.
Depressive murderous episodes. You know, some people get
Yeah.
depressed and they just like sit in a corner and mumble to themselves. He would go like murderous, like I'm gonna kill somebody.
Yeah. I think the structure of it was
would
good
never
for him,
like
though.
Yeah.
Like, I think having that
Yes.
structure is what
Yeah.
kept him mostly good.
Right. I think so.
I definitely think that more people who have like committed these atrocious acts should be in something like that rather than prison.
Yeah.
Because like
it's a different situation. Like, yes, it's gruesome, yes, it's fucked up, but like it was clearly from some fucked up mental distress.
Yes.
And like honestly, it's probably for me, I probably think that way with a lot more murderers than most people because like it takes something fucked up in your head to be able to kill somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
End.
Like
in itself.
Exactly. Especially for like unless it's in self-defense or something, but like to do what the shit that to decide to go rob a grave. That's gonna take some fucked up shit.
Yeah. But like his later life was really boring.
Yeah.
Like he started to decline physically in the 70s. So they transferred him to a more like caregiving facility, a mental health institute. He eventually died of cancer and respiratory illness on July 26th, 1984. His original gravestone, which is right here, that somebody decided needed a 666 on it, in case nobody. That it was stolen in 2000.
I could see something like that.
I can't even imagine. Like, I'm surprised it took that long.
Yeah.
It was actually removed and stolen in the year 2000.
Yeah. And now he's in an unmarked grave.
And now he's in an unmarked grave.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
I agree. Yeah. Because
yes and no. I still think, you know, as a spiritual human being, I feel like that adds a state of unrest to somebody to be like forgotten like that. Not that he's not really forgotten.
I was gonna say he's not really forgotten.
We're literally talking about him.
Well, we are, but not in a way that necessarily he would want us to.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know?
I don't know because I feel like we kind of bring a little bit more empathy to the table.
I think so. Yeah. Like I think
than a lot of people you know, because even like the movies that are centered around him.
Yeah.
Like but like they're with in situations like this, like I feel like there needs to be a lot more empathy towards everybody involved. And like, don't get it wrong, he was a fucked up individual. He did horrible things, but he was a fucked up individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of that is society's fault to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Not fully, but
I agree.
Yeah.
So the movies based on him are technically massively psycho. We already
that's the biggest
Norman
one.
Bates.
Norman.
I feel like that's more along the lines of reality for him than many of the other ones. The ones that are a little more out there are Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because you have Leatherface cutting the people up,
which the guy the director admitted that like it was based on like story, like he didn't know the story, he didn't know who Ed Gein was, but he had heard like the stories of Ed Gein and like, and so he added some of that.
And then Silence of the Lambs. But
obvious stuff in that.
That's more Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that you're referencing Hannibal Lecter.
Which you're not. You're referencing Buffalo Bill.
Gein had nothing to do with anything like Hannibal.
No. Hannibal Lecter was like a massive intelligent person. Like I would say like I don't know, who's a serial killer you can compare?
I just feel like Ed was such a dope. I mean, I know that's mean, but
but that's
like he was
a simpleton. Like they did find
like he had actual developmental delays.
Yeah.
And stuff.
He was not. He didn't have all the lights on.
Yeah. Like they did find his IQ was average, but like that was back again. Like there was something.
Plus you can have. I don't necessarily like the like measurement of IQ.
Right.
Smarts. And still have developmental delays.
Yes. No common sense.
Yeah. Like no street smarts, but like no street smarts.
Yeah. And I would say like I don't have enough experience to comment on this, but I would say some kind of autism, some kind of
somewhere honestly having dealt with quite a bit of autism in my life, some of it it actually there's something else though.
Yeah, there's something
Not
deeper,
necessarily, not necessarily autism.
but not necessarily not
Possibly,
either.
possibly autism, but then like something,
Something else,
something
yeah.
developmental in
Right.
the brain where it's just not quite all there.
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, a couple cans short of a 6-pack.
Yeah.
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 Which is honestly another
For
thing
sure.
that's so tragic. That's one of the things that like I struggle with researching stuff like this, because I always like put myself in all of the people's shoes that are involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I hate it because like literally, how do you have empathy for a fucking serial killer? But
Yeah.
like,
But like,
they're
it's
still
like
people.
like
They are people.
exactly. Like
And
Richard Chase, for example, like, he did some horrific shit. But like he had a disease where he believed his blood was like
yeah,
escaping him. Like it's like he had
yeah,
some like it it really just boils down to like there are some situations of like somebody slipped through the cracks.
yeah. And like I know it's like a big theme in a lot of the true crime
Yeah.
universe, that like they're not people, they're monsters. No, they're literally people.
They're human beings.
They're literally people.
Yeah.
And like
there are some monsters that aren't.
Yeah, there's some that
I
are gonna
feel
get.
like there are some that
there's
are
some that are gonna get a
just
lot less empathy
not.
from me.
yeah,
Than,
oh yeah, definitely. There's some that like I'm like, okay, yeah, they don't deserve empathy, but like the bare bones of it, that these are human beings. They are.
Yeah.
And like made horrible, absolutely horrible,
Yeah.
but like they were born from a human being. They have a mom and a dad, and
Yeah.
and I think that's the part that a lot of people almost try to disconnect themselves with.
Yeah. Well, and I think like if you take it from that perspective, like you can really like you take it from, okay, this is a human. How did this human get to this point?
Yeah. And that's a lot of that's where I struggle a lot with doing true crime in general, is like, how did they, and then it's sad. It's fucking another one that really started me down this road is the Beltway snipers.
Oh my God, yeah. We
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
got to do them at some point.
Because he was just a kid, hard on his luck, and he met a guy.
Yeah.
And I feel so much empathy for that kid.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
he was just a kid.
He got a raw deal.
He made one wrong turn, and
and that
the end.
turn
just
was
fucking
just
downhill from there.
Now he's fucked.
I think the reason
Federally
that
fucked.
I think that the reason that Ed went down in infamy more so is because he was the first known American Skinner, like that did this.
Yeah.
Like he was the first one, and I think because all in all, he was pretty boring.
Yeah,
In the scheme of things.
Yeah.
But he's so well known only because it made everybody sit up and go, "What the fuck is that?"
Fuck?
You know?
Well, there's like a book, like, it's like the small town thing, and like the book title really captures it. It's like, did you hear what Eddie Gein did? And it was like, just because he was just a local dude. He was just like he could be any of our fucking neighbors in this small town we live in.
Any of like the weird people that you just like see sometimes. Like I have several examples that I can think of right now in my town where it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
There's a motherfucker that I've seen that literally, and I know you guys know who I'm talking about. This motherfucker rides around on a bike. He's got a fucking American flag, wearing a Trump mask like it's a fucking Ed Gein fucking mask. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking
do.
I don't even live, for context, I don't even live in the same town. I live in the neighboring town. I know who he's talking
you
about.
Know exactly who I'm talking. You've seen him. Oh, we've all seen him. And
because it's a big flag.
It's like a fucking industrial flag. And then he started wearing the fucking mask too. Like, bro,
I know who you're talking about.
But the thing is that guy could be completely normal, but like the fucking
he's not.
I mean, he's not. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if he had fucking skin lampshades in his fucking house too. But it wouldn't shock me at all. But like,
there's a lot of people that I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking weirdos around here, and it's just how it is, man. That he was just he was just a normal slow guy, and now he's one of the most infamous names in the murderverse as hashtag murderverse.
Yeah, we're gonna get it going.
Hell yeah.
The murderverse.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So this has been Ed Gein. So yeah, any final thoughts? I know that we didn't get to it much, but there was some suspected murder. There was like 3 or 4 different ones that they suspect, but
he found 40 different victims in the house.
Yeah.
But they couldn't, because it was back in the day, they couldn't tell if they were grave robbings or if they were.
Oh, and he took them to like the grave, and he had left his fucking crowbar in one of the graves at one point.
I definitely feel like it was probably. Did they ever ask him about his brother? That's the stuff that I would.
He never admitted to it.
He never admitted to it.
He would never admit it. Because they kept questioning him.
Yeah.
Because he came out with all the stuff that he had done so easily. They're like, oh, there has to be more. So they kept like pushing and pushing
what about
pushing.
Henry? Yeah.
And he would never admit to killing anybody else but those 2.
I'm definitely on the fence with the number.
I am too.
Yeah.
I think they were too, but they couldn't do anything about it.
It also could have been a situation where he like fell and he saw him fall, and that's why he knew where he was.
Or
but like the only way they could figure out like how many graves he actually robbed would be to go dig everybody up in the local cemetery and find out.
Yeah, and he rotated between 3 local ones.
And could you imagine like the trauma for everybody?
Yes, for everybody involved.
And there's no way they would have been able to do that. No way.
Yeah.
No.
Way.
Absolutely.
Because heavy
not.
Equipment wasn't a thing.
No, it was like because they even tested to see if he could do it by hand in one night. And it was the only way he could do it was freshly dug graves, because they were loose still. Yeah.
But
it's definitely fucking
yeah. I think he's definitely one that you can't blame nature and you can't fully blame nurture.
He's an anomaly of the 2. For sure.
It was a perfect storm.
Yes.
It's like a plethora of just all the things in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy just didn't have a chance.
He did.
No.
And that's where I'm like, I struggle because the empathy. The poor guy didn't have a chance.
Yeah. But imagine if like 1 or 2 things had been different. Like if Henry had lived, that was something I was going to bring up at one point. If Henry had lived and not died in that fire, could he have eventually swayed him away from, like, if he had outlived Augusta and then it's like, hey, look, she's gone.
I could see. I
think if she would have died, he would have had more luck.
Yeah. And Henry had lived. I think
him alive or her alive. No.
Yeah.
Not a chance in hell.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
I think if she would have died before the dad.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a whole nother ball game.
I wonder too if she would have died before the dad, if the dad would have been like, "Oh, okay,
I don't have to be miserable now."
Yeah, if he'd have discovered himself and all of a sudden they're out there playing catch.
Yeah, I could see him dipping.
Yeah, I think the dad would have dipped.
Yeah.
I think he would have been like, you guys are grown, deuces. I'm out.
Pulled a Ving Rhames and said, fuck y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Was anybody got any last points to add on this one?
No.
All right, cool. This has been Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield, the Grandfather of Gore, as he's called. I am definitely going to go watch some fucking Silence of the Lambs very soon, because like that is in my head, and I got to purge that shit. So everybody at home, I hope you enjoyed. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. You get that little bell that pops up so that you know when new episodes drop. If you like what you're hearing, please leave us a review. I know you can do it on Apple. Again, we've said we're pretty sure about Spotify. I don't know how it works with Spotify, but leave us a review. Make sure to go to our official home on the interwebs, www.weirdwide.com. You sign up for our newsletter. We got new information on there. We're gonna be adding more stuff on there later. We do have a Discord that is in progress, thanks to Bethany. Got to thank you for that.
So proud of it.
Yeah. But we don't know what the fuck we're doing with that, so that's another work in progress. This is just how Weird Wide works. The Weirdoverse slowly but surely comes together.
It's evolving.
Exactly. You find the show on TikTok and Instagram at WeirdWidePod. If you want to find me, I'm on there as well as Dudus Weirdo. Where can everybody find you too?
I'm on Instagram and on TikTok at Bethany.gets.weird.
I'm on both of the things. at Weird Ass Chick 86.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Not
So-
much to look at, but I'm there.
But we're working on it. Even our channel now is still a baby channel. We're working on that.
We're
so
corrupting her.
that's right. We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
Get you to the dark side.
That's right. We got some ideas for that. So everyone check us out. We'll let you know in the next couple weeks how the Discord is coming along. We probably will have to get one of our friends to help us out that knows what the fuck they're doing.
I have people that are willing to help.
Perfect.
As do I.
Trying to
I
get
can
them
get
to
Dean
help.
to assist if we have to.
Perfect.
Hell
So
yeah.
we got some people coming together with that. So that'll be coming together. So look for that. Because I think that's one of the goals for the Weirdoverse is to get us a little, a nice little community around the weird that we can all just come together and have a safe place for that. So
Right. And just have like a nice little spot where we can all just chat about weird shit and no judgment.
Exactly. Join us next week.
Yeah, no judgment. We're tired of that.
Yeah,
We've been dealing with it all week.
We are. We have. We've been over. It's been a week for me and Ashley. Bethany, you've had a weird week too.
I've had a weird week.
Yeah, I'm glad to be. As we're recording this, we're going into the 4th of July holiday. I'm fucking stoked. I'm ready to fucking have some time off. It's gonna be beautiful. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So everybody join us next week. We're getting into mimics next week, so that should be a fun episode. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
I'm excited about the mimics.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that one. Yeah. So everybody, stay tuned for that. We love you all. Until then, stay weird.